Now joined by Johns Hopkins head coach Dave Pietramala, student athletes Ryan Brown and Eric Schneider. As last time, we'll have a brief statement from the coach, followed by questions for the players, and then questions for coach. For recording purposes, I'll need to repeat back your questions, so guys, will you please bear with me? I'll try to be quick. And if you remember to speak right into the microphone when you answer. Coach, first you.
You know, it's unfortunate. The 2015 Johns Hopkins lacrosse team is not going to win the national championship, but they're champions in my mind. What an unbelievable group of young men. Disappointing. You know, I think our first half cost us the game. You know, we got outplayed. I thought we got out-hustled, outworked. And I thought in the second half we did what this team has always done. They answered the bell, they fought, they competed, and they did what a Hopkins lacrosse team is supposed to do. So, you know, I go home today and I won't sleep well because we lost, but more importantly, I won't sleep well because I don't get to spend any more time with this group of young men. Pretty special group. Johns Hopkins family, our alumni, our fans, should be proud as hell of this group of young men. They're pretty special.
This time we'll open it up for questions for the student athletes. Anyone? Right in the end here.
For Ryan, you know, when you played Maryland in the regular season, you know, you kind of exploded as a team for 6 goals in the fourth quarter, and you individually had 8 in the game. Today you had 1. Did Maryland do anything different, approach you any differently to sort of stifle your offense a little bit?
Hold on one second. Again, the question was comparing the regular season game against Maryland to this one. Did Maryland do anything different defensively to deal with you? Go for it, Ryan.
I think they did a little bit better job of just matching up and I guess knowing where I was at all times. But it was really the same defense. I don't think I shot the ball particularly well today. I think I could have given the opportunity, scored a couple more goals if I was more dialed in on shooting. But yeah, they're a terrific defense, and I think that showed today.
Great. Any other questions for the student athletes before we let them go? All right, thank you guys. You can head back. Coach, if you want to hang out for 1 second, take a few questions for you. This time we'll open it up questions for Coach right here in the front.
Coach, what were some of the adjustments you made as you guys started to make your comeback late in the second half?
Again, the question was, what were some of the adjustments you made that led to the comeback in the second half?
Well, we were more competitive at the face-off X. I mean, you look at the stats at halftime, and we were getting our tails kicked there. And we were a little more aggressive off the wings. Hunter Moreland did a terrific job and battled there. We made it more of a ground ball battle, and we were able to come up with a few more of those. You know, there was a stanza there where we gave up a really big goal down their end, and we played a ton of defense, and they scored a goal. I think it was Rambo with time and room. But up until that point, I thought we had gotten some more stops. We just played better lacrosse. You know, give them credit. They're a very good team. They've had a great year. They're well coached. Their defense is good. Their offense is better than people think. And I just don't think we played great lacrosse in the first half. And I thought, you know, we made some subtle adjustments in the second half. But at the end of the day, we just played sounder, more fundamental lacrosse, and we played harder.
Yes, right here.
Dave, did they do more to get Rambo some opportunities today than the last time?
The question was, did they do more to get Rambo more opportunities today than the last matchup?
No. You know, maybe they feel like they did. You know, some games guys are assertive, and some games they're not. You asked Ryan today if he didn't have 6 goals today. Did we try to get him fewer looks? You know, sometimes it's the way the game unfolds. And you know, Matt Rambo's a very good player, and you couldn't think coming home to Philadelphia in a Final Four that he wasn't going to step up and play as one of their leaders. So, you know, I don't know that they did anything special. You'd have to ask them. But I'm not surprised that Matt Rambo was more assertive coming home and playing in a Final Four. We expected their whole offense to be more assertive in this game. We also expected them to do what they did, which put a stranglehold on the ball.
Yes, right.
Dave, can you talk about the move to Crawley, putting him in with the first group, and obviously what that produced, and also Shaq's shot, 30 seconds to go. Were you anywhere you want? Were you okay with that shot? Was it a good shot, good angle?
Yeah, listen.
Hold on one second. The question was, can you talk about moving Crowley to the first group and also the shot by Shaq with 30 seconds left at the end? Shaq Stanwyck.
Yeah, I'm okay. You got to trust your players, and Shaq Stanwyck's one of our better players. And all of a sudden, if we're going to start stifling him, we need to let him feel comfortable, and I'm very comfortable, with the way he played and what he did. We just felt like we needed to make a move at the midfield, and John Crawley is a guy who's been a bit of a jack of all trades for us. If someone's not doing the job at the attack, we can move him there. If someone's not doing a job, or we feel like there's just a better matchup for us with him, whether it's athletically, physically, behind the goal, in front of it, we can make that move for any one of the guys on the first midfield. And Bobby felt like that was the right thing to do. We made it, and and John Crawley really stepped up today. And I hope it's something that he's going to carry as we move forward, in the future.
Yeah, right at the end.
Coach, you struggled in your EMOs at 2 for 5, which is okay. Do you think that contributed significantly your inability to capitalize on those extra man opportunities?
Can you comment on how you did extra man opportunities?
No disrespect, have you watched them play defense this year? They're pretty darn good, and they're pretty darn good in the goal. Are there opportunities we'd like to have back? Sure. I'm very happy with our extra man's done this year. Do I think that's the reason? Not at all. If I had to say anything, I'd just say collectively, probably a little nervous at the beginning of the game, a little anxious. We've been here before, the staff's been here before, but this group of guys hasn't been here before. And you know what? Whether you realize it or not, the other 3 teams have all been here. And it's been a process for all of them. And none of them have won it. It's a process. And when we won in 2005, it took us getting our teeth kicked in 2004 by Syracuse and losing in the national championship in 2003. What this team has done for this program this year is reestablish that culture. And we shared the Big Ten championship. We won the Big Ten tournament. We went to the NCAA semifinals and the Final Four. We're in no way, shape, or form satisfied because the goal at Johns Hopkins is to win the championship. But all our freshmen know is those 3 things. And all our sophomores know is the quarterfinals, Big Ten champs, and Final Four. Moving forward, that's going to go a long way for our program.
Do you think that explains kind of what happened that first half in general? Just that we're nervous, whatever?
If I say that's the reason, then I'm making an excuse. I've never been an excuse maker, and I never will be. Do I think it plays a role in it? Sure. I'd be foolish not to think. We tried real hard all week to keep these guys loose, not let them get tight. We play better when we're like that. We came out to stretch, and we were through stretching before you could, snap your fingers. And yeah, they were excited. They should be nervous. They should be anxious. They're 17 to 23-year-old kids that just got back to the Final Four. Yeah, that had something to do with it, and I think we settled down in the second half, and we went back to playing blue-collar, hard-nosed Hopkins lacrosse in the second half, and unfortunately, we didn't do that in the first half, and the guys that we were playing are pretty darn good, and they should be commended on the way they played and what they did.
Last question for Coach. Go for it, Dan.
Obviously, this season, Coach, has been about a lot more than just what's going on with this team on the field. You've been through quite a bit off and on the field. Does that change your perspective sitting here tremendously?
If you could talk about everything the team has been through on and off the field, perspective you've gotten.
I'm not a guy that has great perspective. I'm a coach. It's hard to get perspective sometimes. When you're in it knee deep, it is what it is. Your question is, do I have perspective after this season with this game? You're darn right I do. There's a father, a mother, and a son sitting in those stands, and they were cheering their ass off for us today. And pardon my language, that's probably not appropriate. They were cheering their tail off for us today. And they've suffered. And I hope, deep in my heart, in some way, shape, or form, this group of young men and our staff were able to give them some comfort, to help them heal, I know they've certainly helped us. They've been bigger than we have. So yes, I take a lot of perspective from this. Like I said, we're not going to win the national championship. The guys in the locker room in black and blue, they're champions in my mind. I'm good with them.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.